Every single bit of feedback you receive is precious. Let's imagine this tennis ball. And let's say you walk out of this room and you're walking through the parking lot back to your car and you get hit with the tennis ball in the head. That is a shocking turn of events. What do you immediately feel when you're hit with the tennis ball? I get angry. When someone hits me in the head, I get angry, generally speaking. When we are hit with something, especially something we were not expecting, it triggers all of those stress signals that we have talked about ad nauseum today. Feedback, someone telling me how well I didn't do, how well I did do, can trigger that same pathway of reactions. We are the descendants of the overreactors. And we will be inclined to overreact to feedback because we are inclined to overact to any threat that way. So whether you're kind of hit with the head with a tennis ball, or whether this tennis ball represents feedback, our instinctive response to feedback, instinctively, is to think of it as a threat. Feedback literacy is an interesting thing to Google later. Feedback literacy is the question of how do we get better at addressing feedback, responding to feedback, using feedback. And so if we're going to use our tennis ball as an example of feedback, we go, well, how do I think about, well, what is this feedback? I'm going to be literate about feedback. I'm going to ask myself about, oh, okay, okay. Before I overreact, what is it? What is it saying? Why? What caused this data hitting my head, this tennis ball of feedback? What caused it to exist? And in both of those questions, I am just asking objective, descriptive questions of the phenomenon. The feedback is just raw data. The sooner I can think about feedback as just raw data, the sooner I can emotionally detach myself from it. A, to not overreact to it, but B, if it is real data, if it is real raw data, is it useful? Can I do something with it? Is it meaningful? But I have to not have a knee-jerk emotional reaction to it in order to get to that point. If I get to that point, then feedback can actually be precious. I've done something. I've put something out into the world. I tipped over a domino. Some cause and effect has occurred, and that thing that has happened has come back to me now, and that data is priceless. We don't improve. We don't adapt. We don't evolve unless we're getting this. So if we can shift our mindset around feedback, we can actually shift something fundamental about the way we approach presenting as a whole. Your posture towards the feedback you receive from your audience largely defines who you are as a presenter. So if my posture to your feedback is defensive, if my posture to you is, I need you to think what I think, I need you to agree with my propositions, I need to get you on board. If you question me, I'm going to be emotional. If that's what I'm feeling walking in, I am going to send that signal whether or not I say it or not, right? If, however, if I have a kind of a literate approach to feedback, where feedback is raw data, and I'm actually very, very quite interested in it, because without it, I am just going on a linear direction without any self-correcting feedback whatsoever. Well, I need feedback. I need feedback to not just be doing the same stupid thing and making the same mistake over and over again. So please give me the feedback. I want your perspective. I want your input. And I want to signal to you that I am not going to fly off the handle if you actually give it to me. That just is so meaningful in how we show up. Not in any kind of explicit way, but just internally. When you walk into the room going, you know what? If nothing else, I'm going to get feedback out of this experience that is going to give me a different perspective on who I am, on what I'm doing, on the research I'm presenting, and that alone is precious. That alone is the price of admission. So I want to come in with a spirit of curiosity, a spirit of openness,